Welcome, everybody, to the first episode of Coach Kern's Corner. I am your host, Luke Kearns, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you tuning in. If you're watching, if you're listening, I'm happy that you are here. And it's been a long time coming. I've had a lot of encouragement, both from my wife and some people that are in my life that have told me you should start a podcast. And I'm like, well, I don't even know what the heck I'm going to talk about. And there's like, just go for it. And I said, okay, so here we are. It's the year 2024, and got some big dreams and goals for myself, and really trying to push myself outside my comfort zone, and just see what happens, right? And so, honestly, just for this first episode, don't want to take too much time, but I just want to give some of the listeners and viewers insight on a little bit about who I am, just so you guys know kind of my background, and then kind of give some dreams, visions, goals for the podcast, some of the content that I want to really spend some time on, and just kind of give you a snapshot of what I see this podcast becoming. And so, like I said, my name is Luke Kearns. I live out in West Michigan, and I am married to my lovely wife of 7 years. Her name is Molly. And then we have a son who is 2 years old, which is absolutely wild to think about. He is 2 years old. And so enjoy the days because they seem to be going faster and faster. But I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio for a few years and then moved to Akron when I was 6 years old. And so I am a 330 boy to the day that I die. Huge Buckeyes fan, huge Browns fan, really hard to marry into a family that are diehard Michigan fans. But they love me anyways, and I love them back. And we just give each other some hard times all out of love. And so, really looking for Ohio State to take a step forward next year, so to speak. And it's been hard these past 3 years, extremely. But nonetheless, I went to Taylor University for college. I ran track, played football, so I dual sported, and I knew it was going to be demanding, and it was. It was a great experience. I loved every second of it. Met my wife there and got my bachelor's degree in exercise science. And so I really thought going into college, I wanted to go to physical therapy school afterwards. That kind of dropped off. And then I thought about being a physician's assistant. I kind of loved how the body worked. And then shadowed my uncle, who's actually a physician's assistant. Figured out that wasn't really the route I wanted to go, and I took a strength and conditioning course my junior year, which changed my whole trajectory of what I wanted to do. And so, really was passionate about how weightlifting can enhance your sports performance and your speed, agility, just an overall athletic ability. That's something that I just found a lot of joy in learning more about. And so, after college, got a internship down in Charlotte, North Carolina, at a small sports performance facility and a PT clinic. They kind of meshed the two, which was super sweet. Um, Grateful for my time there. And Molly was actually doing some ministry work in inner city Charlotte with an organization that was living in neighborhoods with refugees, as well as playing semi-pro soccer. So a running joke is she's the better athlete in the family, and she is. So there you go, Molly. Just kidding. But anyways, so we were there for a few years, or I should say, I was there for the summer and then ended up moving back to Ohio and was mowing grass for a local company for a couple months, and then got a call back from the same facility to coach. And so went back down there and coached. And then I got plugged into a local high school, was coaching track and field as well as football for a couple years. And then we moved back to West Michigan in 2017. Been here since, and then have worked at Molly's alma mater, Holland High School, for a few years with sports performance training as the head strength coach, and then currently at West Ottawa High School as a sprints coach for both the girls and guys team as well as the relays. So, kind of a quick snapshot of myself, where I'm at now, and I guess really a motivation piece behind why I wanted to start a podcast was I love training and I love talking about speed. That's just something that I gravitate towards. And so, what better way to try to share my thoughts and ideas with you guys through a camera and a microphone? it's really weird for me to be doing this, but at the same time, like I mentioned, I'm trying to push myself out of my comfort zone, and try to be as engaging as possible for you guys to kind of get an understanding of where I come from with training, and then really try to push athletes to their maximum, not only as an athlete, but also as an individual person. And, for myself, this is just my belief. I'm a firm believer in Jesus Christ, and that is what runs everything that I do. My belief in him is why I get so passionate about pursuing relationships with the kids that I coach and trying to make them the best that I can be. Trying to be the hands and the feet of Jesus wherever I go. And so that's the biggest motivating factor of why I coach. But I also love the sport. And so I would say majority of what this podcast will be is me kind of sharing my experiences with track personally, some coaching, some tips on training, kind of some tips with weight training and speed training. Um, but I also have a lot of friends in a lot of different areas of life that I think would be extremely valuable for some of the young listeners that are going to be tuning in on what the real world actually looks like, and try to prepare some of you young folks for life the best way that I can. But also, if if you're older and you're working a job, try to motivate you to be the best that you can be. And so, I feel like the Lord has blessed me with the ability to coach um, and push people to try to be the best that they can. That's just something that I don't know why, but I just get a fire and passion for it. And so, really want to kind of follow into that calling, so to speak, and just see where this goes, honestly. And if it flops, it flops. But I know who I am, and I'm going to push this thing to the next level and try to get the best content for you guys with each episode, and just try to deliver the best way I can the messages that I'm trying to speak, right? And so for me, there might be episodes where I'm just strictly talking about training, and there might be an episode where I bring on a good buddy of mine who, is in a different industry, and just want to pick his brain on, encouragement for young folks on, what does it look like to actually get a real job? How do we balance life and work outside of school? And so I've also had ideas and thoughts of having a kind of an athlete get to know the athlete session or an episode, so that you guys can kind of get a deeper dive into some of the athletes that I'm coaching, and just some conversations that we have. Because honestly, if you came to a practice or any time that we're together, you're going to see us laughing a ton, but you're also going to see us getting after it. And so I kind of want to bring you guys into my life, so to speak, and see what it's about. And so moving forward, a couple of the episodes that I have in mind are specifically geared more towards training to start with. And then as the year progresses and as the weeks go by, really want to try to bring on different guests and try to make this thing as engaging as possible. But I'm also going to try to really challenge people's belief systems. And that's just something that I'm passionate about. I really want people to know the truth, right? And if we um, come to that understanding of where it actually comes from, that's my goal. And I'm going to try to be as clear and effective with how I deliver it as possible. If things offend you, I'm really not going to apologize for it, because that's not my intention. My intention is to speak what I believe to be the absolute truth, and there is truth in the world. And so, with that being said, again, try not to take too much time with this first episode. Just want to give you kind of a overall 5,000-foot view, so to speak, over what I want this podcast to be. So I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you tuning in, and we will catch you on the next episode.